All right. So it looks like we have a big fight, good fight, I hope, coming up as two of the top lightweight 140 pounders in the world have reportedly agreed to meet in the early part of the year. And hopefully, this is a tryout for a fight with Gervonta Davis after that. Let's talk about the Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez fight in this video. All right, welcome back. Gonna talk some boxing, some good old-fashioned boxing with two of the best young fighters. I don't know if they're young anymore, but two of the best fighters in the world, I think it is safe to say. Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez are close to finalizing a deal that would have, I do believe, Shakur Stevenson moving up to 140 to challenge Teofimo Lopez for his WBO 140-pound title. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. Shout out to you. Thank you for always watching and chopping it up with your boy, man. I know boxing is a little bit dead right now, but we keep it pumping. We keep it grinding. And thank you to everybody that supports and the super thanks of videos like this. It really does go a long way to help support and keep the channel going, especially during very dry times like this in the American boxing scene. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world of boxing. But in the United States of America, things have been kind of split up, broken up. You have a lot of things that are unsettled. You have Turki Al-Sheikh coming into the United States, taking a lot of American stars and shipping them off to Saudi Arabia. In my opinion, standing in the way of a lot of stuff for their own purposes. However, there has been an increased amount of fights that have been taking place. But I don't think the top American fights that we want to see where these guys are fighting each other have necessarily been happening with the frequency that I would like to see them happen. So this particular fight, I think, is a very, very good deal on paper. You have Shakur Stevenson, who was a 3-division champion. He was the WBO champion at 126. He was the WBO champion and the WBC champion at 130. So if he was able to fight Shakur, if he does fight Teo and he's able to beat Teo, that would make him a 4-weight division champion. And that is a very, very significant thing. On the side of Teofimo Lopez also has some very nice accolades in his career. He's a 2-weight division champion, having been undisputed champion at 135 pounds. And I'm going to give the man the credit for that. I still am irritated by how people hijack that from him just to make Devin Haney look good. But whatever the case is, that he had the WBO belt, the WBA belt, the WBC belt, and the IBF belt all at the same time. If that don't make you undisputed, I don't get it. But whatever. He has those accolades, and he's also a very, very solid fighter. Has beaten guys, became a champion beat the former undisputed champion at 140 pounds in Josh Taylor in a really spectacular fight. So like when Teofimo Lopez is really, really on and he's focused, he's a terrific fighter. Shakur Stevenson is always a terrific fighter. Maybe, a little bit doesn't quite engage for some people's liking, but still, you cannot say that these guys are not top-level fighters. They are top-level fighters. They're the same age. Meeting in this fight would be a terrific fight for American boxing. My hope for the fight is that it doesn't, for some stupid reason, unnecessary reason, wind up on an undercard in Saudi Arabia. No joke. I'm just hoping it doesn't wind up being on an undercard in Saudi Arabia, because I would not be surprised if that's where that fight wound up, being on an undercard to somebody like Hamad Shiraz or somebody like that. And then you're going to have Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson be on the undercard, the penultimate. Just like the fight card, I do believe you have David Benavidez and Anthony Yard fighting as the main event, and you have Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. as the And I do believe the second to the last fight. Look, I don't see how that helps grow American boxing. It takes away from American boxing when you ship these fights out of the country and you don't let American fans actually travel to the fights, see the fights. But whatever, it is what it is. I love the fight. I'll take the fight. Now, I love the fight this way. I like the fight on paper. Now, there is obviously a problem with the fight in the technical aspects of the fight. What's going to actually happen when they stand across the ring from each other? When we're talking about what the publicity for the fight is going to be and who's going to promote it, that's one thing. But what is the product going to be when they actually get in the ring? And that is somewhere where we could see some problems, because both Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, they're both counterpunchers. They're both always looking for the other person to take the lead so that they can counter off that lead. That is going to be a problem because you're never really going to know who's going to start. Is it going to be Teofimo Lopez that's going to start the exchange and let Shakur be the one counterpunching, or Shakur going to do it? It's going to be very, very interesting. I think it'll be a very, very highly tactical fight. And I think that it is going to be a troubling fight for Shakur in a lot of different ways because Teofimo Lopez is a lot faster. He's in the orthodox stance. So if he can work that straight right hand well, I think he may be able to do some stuff with Shakur. I think Shakur is all around the better fighter, the more defensively sound. But honestly, man, both these guys are, I mean, other than the fact that I saw that Teofimo Lopez almost always fights to the level of his competition, right? That has been a problem with guys like Jermaine Ortiz. It was a problem with Sandor Martin. If he's able to elevate his game and fight on the same level as Shakur, we'll see. But obviously, I will favor Shakur in the fight. I just hope that it doesn't wind up being, basically a cash grab for these guys where they say, okay, well, we got this fight together. I don't know who is going to put the fight on. You have a matchroom fighter and a top rank fighter. As far as I know, Teofimo Lopez is still top rank, but top rank doesn't have a network deal at present, even though they did re-sign Brian Norman to a multi-year deal, which tells you that they see that they should be having a TV deal and a TV deal announced pretty soon. But look, I love the fight on paper. I love the event. Hopefully it can be put on with a very strong undercard, and it can be used to really feature these two fighters for the sake of growing these fighters and not throwing them in on kind of like just a buffet type boxing event where you have a bunch of names, but nobody's really fighting anybody that you really want to see. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.